Africa is known as a deadly continent filled with lethal animals. The non-carnivores like rhinos, Cape buffalo, and elephants could maim you. And then there are the predators, the big cats, lions, and leopards. But these animals typically all stay clear of the Sahara Desert. Occasionally you may find lions and leopards there, but it's rare. It's a desert. The wildlife is dramatically different from the rest of Africa, but it's still a death trap for many reasons. So, who are the 10 most dangerous animals that you'll actually find in the Sahara Desert? Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll clue you in as to where you should actually be looking when you're in the Sahara Desert. Cheetahs. While it's extremely rare to find lions and leopards in the Sahara Desert, there are some big cats that frequent this dry and sandy landscape. Cheetahs. Cheetahs can be found in a number of places throughout Africa, but there are plenty of them in areas of the Sahara Desert, like Algeria and Niger. Cheetahs are one of 7 big cats in the world, one of 3 big cats in Africa, and they tend to be the smallest ones. Maybe that's why they developed the ability to live in the desert, stay away from the larger big cats, and limit their competition for food sources. A cheetah is still large, getting up to 5 feet in length and 160 pounds. But the most devastating thing about the cheetah, as everyone knows, is the speed. Fastest land animal in the world, able to hit speeds greater than 70 miles per hour, sometimes even 80. They have explosive bursts when they leap into full sprint, able to hit 60 miles per hour in 3 seconds. Once they've charged their prey, that prey needs to recognize it quickly and hope they can outlast the cheetah. Once the cheetah gets close, he trips his prey, leaps on top, and latches his strong jaws around the neck, clamping, snapping, suffocating the poor animal. Sorecaled Vipers. When you're in the Sahara Desert, the best way to remain safe is not to gaze out in the distance searching for dangerous, large mammalian predators. There are less of those and more of the small reptilian predators right below your feet. For instance, the Sorecaled Viper, which can be found in many areas of the Sahara, Egypt, Libya, and Tunisia, to name a few countries. The Sorecaled Viper also happens to be the snake responsible for the most human fatalities every single year. A lot of that due to him coexisting in densely populated areas in India and southern Asia. But even in the Sahara, the Sorecaled Viper is a massive danger to humans and all animals. When he bites, he injects loads of venom, powerful venom, an average of 18 milligrams per bite and a maximum of 72 milligrams. The concentration of the venom makes it one of the most lethal among snakes, and it's also one of the fastest striking snakes in the world. The Sorecaled Viper is defensive but also extremely aggressive, so keep your eye out for where you step in the desert, and not just for this snake. Egyptian Cobras. You're going to have to watch out for the Egyptian Cobra as well. You might think, fine, I'll avoid Egypt. Not good enough. He's found throughout many other countries like Libya, Tunisia, and Algeria. And even worse than that, the Egyptian Cobra is recognized as the most venomous snake in all of North Africa. Ranging between 4 feet and 8 feet in length, this large snake will deliver a humongous volume of venom, somewhere between 175 to 300 milligrams in a single bite. The venom is mainly a mix of neurotoxins and cytotoxins, which primarily affects the nervous system, causing paralysis, respiratory failure, and very often death. The Egyptian Cobra tends to be more nocturnal, so wandering the desert at night just got a whole lot more difficult. And there's one more thing about the Egyptian Cobra, because he can be found in western and southern areas just outside of the Sahara as well. Interestingly enough, Egyptian cobras in northern Africa in the Sahara Desert. Their venom tends to be more potent than the western and southern cobras, so the absolute worst ones are right in the Sahara. Desert crocodiles. Something that would probably put you at ease in the Sahara Desert is the thought of, well, at least there will be no crocodiles. It's true, crocodiles want to stay near sources of water, like the Nile crocodile, hardly touching the Sahara Desert as he stays primarily by the Nile River. However, one of your new worst nightmares is about to come true. There is such a crocodile known as the desert crocodile or West African crocodile. They're primarily in Western and Central Africa, in countries like Sierra Leone, Ghana, Togo, Benin, Nigeria, but they are also in Mauritania, and some of them enjoy the Sahara Desert. Desert crocodiles stay cool by finding caves to hide out in during the hottest times of the day, but you can find them in the Sahara Desert. They're not as large as Nile crocodiles, but they still range between 6 and 10 feet when fully grown, and they can be between 250 and 550 pounds. Some of the strongest bite forces on the planet belong to crocodiles, like 3,700 psi for the saltwater crocodile and 5,000 psi for the Nile crocodile. The desert crocodile's bite isn't that strong, but scientists have plenty of evidence to suggest it's over 2,000 pounds per square inch of force, maybe even more than 3,000. You don't need to be a scientist, you don't need to know the nitty-gritty details. You just need to know this: don't be around when that croc's jaws are clamping down. Sand vipers. But again, it's the desert. It's hot, it's dry. It takes a certain kind of animal to be able to survive in these conditions. Snakes are found all throughout the Sahara Desert, and one you really need to watch out for is the sand viper. The sand viper spans from Egypt to Mauritania and lives in a half a dozen countries in between the two. Sand vipers aren't especially large, usually between 11 inches and 20 inches long. Pair their small size with the fact that their coloring blends in with the sand, and that makes them hard to see. Easy to accidentally step on or near. Easy to miss as you're walking by. Sand vipers are venomous and usually feed on lizards and geckos, but their venom can quickly cause swelling, nausea, and other side effects. They're a scary snake in the Sahara, but maybe not the scariest. Horned vipers. Many say that the most dangerous snake in the Sahara is the horned viper, similar in size to the sand viper but can get larger, usually between 2 to 3 feet long, and he just looks like a menace. He looks like a devil with those little horns poking up over the top of each eye. And yes, the horned viper blends in with the surrounding sand as well, so that's not good for anyone who'd like to not get bitten by this venomous snake. The horned viper's bite contains a lot of cytotoxic venom, primarily affecting the cells of the unfortunate soul on the receiving end. Necrosis can happen, also known as tissue death, along with swelling, pain, nausea, and vomiting. By the way, it isn't just one cytotoxin in the venom. It's a mix of 13 different cytotoxins, all working together to deliver extreme pain and horrible symptoms, which also can sometimes lead to blood clotting. Not something you ever want to deal with. African wild dogs. Though there aren't so many larger predators in the Sahara Desert, not like the rest of Africa, there are still some. One you may find there are African wild dogs, also called painted dogs or Cape hunting dogs. African wild dogs are found in many areas throughout sub-Saharan Africa, but they will live in some places in the Sahara Desert as well. They're less common than some of these other dangerous animals, but they've been spotted in the desert enough times for prey animals to know to watch out for them. They'll usually weigh between 50 and 60 pounds. They're powerful for their size, they're smart and extremely intelligent. And that's one of the biggest dangers of the African wild dog. It's the intelligence and the style of intelligence. You'll almost never find an African wild dog alone, almost always in packs. And their intelligence is not limited to an individual. The pack works as a highly efficient unit, communicating with one another, planning out intricate details for hunting expeditions and attacks. A pack of African wild dogs could just be 6 individuals, just 10 individuals, but sometimes it can reach up to 40. For people, the phrase is safety in numbers. For these vicious hunters working together to take down large prey and savagely pull them apart, the phrase should be danger in numbers. Hyenas. If vicious mammalian predators with large pack sizes scares you, then get ready to be downright terrified. Step aside, Africa wild dogs. The hyenas have arrived. For one, hyenas are larger. There are striped hyenas which can weigh up to 100 pounds, and spotted hyenas which can weigh up to 190 pounds. Striped hyenas are more commonly found in the Sahara Desert versus the spotted hyenas, but there have been enough sightings of each subspecies. Hyenas have devastating bites, one of the strongest in the animal kingdom. 1,140 pounds per square inch, enough to break bone, which they very regularly do when clamping down on their prey. Hyenas are also highly intelligent animals, also coordinating advanced attacks. And they don't have a pack because it's called a clan. But hyena clans are even worse. They will often range between 10 to 80 individuals, oftentimes even clearing 100 members, and in some rare cases, getting close to 200. The animal itself is a danger, a skilled predator, a mammal with a lethal bite, but whenever you see one hungry guy, get ready to see about 100 more. Black widows. The big animals are scary, but in the desert you have to watch out for the small ones lurking in the sand, like black widow spiders. Black widows are among the more venomous and dangerous spiders in the world, and they can be found all over, and there are plenty in the Sahara Desert. Their venom affects the nervous system, and yes, there are not as many people dying from black widow bites in places like the US as there used to be. This is mainly because of abundant access to treatment, hospitals, things of that nature. But in the Sahara Desert, humans or animals bitten by a black widow, they may not have such easy access to such things. And then that bite becomes a lot scarier. Death Stalker scorpions. We've saved the best or worst for last. Another small animal to watch out for. Seriously, do everything you can to watch out for the Death Stalker scorpion. The name alone should have you agreeing to do so. For those who need more details, how about this? Not only is the Death Stalker one of the most dangerous species of scorpion in the world, but that venom it has, it doesn't even need to get you with all that much for it to kill you. The Death Stalker scorpion has a low lethal dose, one of the lower ones in the animal kingdom. Healthy adult humans are less at risk, but anyone with any health conditions, children, elderly, they're all extremely susceptible. Again, you want to get treated right away, and when you're in the Sahara Desert, that can be difficult. As scientists often do, the venom has been extracted from the Death Stalker scorpion and studied, and it's been found to be able to treat a wide range of conditions. This venom is known as one of the most expensive liquids in the world, along with one of the most dangerous. But if we're talking about coming into contact with the Death Stalker scorpion out in the wild, there's no price tag on the venom, just a tag of pain and danger. If you see it, it may be too late. It can snap its stinger at 51 inches per second, meaning there isn't much time for you to evade that sting. Paralysis will set in quickly, so make sure you get your hands on some anti-venom fast, if you can find it.